Hi everybody, Brian Zane here. Please enjoy this re-uploading of my review of the film Wrestle Madness from Season 6. The video was taken down a few months ago by Fox. Me disputing it did not work, so now I've re-uploaded it for your viewing pleasure with very, very small changes. Actually, the changes, they're not that small. I mean, if you watch the original version and the new version, you might be able to see the difference, but it doesn't matter. Very, very small changes in the grand scheme of things. Enjoy. The noble dog has been well represented in the history of professional wrestling. Names like the Junkyard Dog, the Moon Dogs, Mad Dog Vachon, the Dog-Faced Gremlin, the Yellow Dog, and who could forget such luminaries as Matilda, Pepper, Fifi, or Chloe. But for too long, dogs have been underrepresented when it comes to action in the squared circle. Dog lovers for years have clamored for a story that features man's best friend fighting for pride, honor, and kibbles. They've been clamoring for Wrestle Madness. From the makers of Air Bud and the Air Buddies series comes Wrestle Madness, a 2015 movie about a talking pro wrestling dog. Don't believe me? Check out the headline from this article by Sports Illustrated. Wrestle Madness is a movie about a talking pro wrestling dog. And if you can't trust SI with that kind of information, well, who can you trust? It's a harmless film that teaches kids about the importance of family and togetherness. And wrestling's part of the story too, I guess. But who cares? You get to see humans interacting awkwardly with trained movie animals. Let's dive in. Air Bud Entertainment. Disney Whimsy, Asylum Budget.
This is the story of how I conquered my fears to become part of the greatest tag team wrestling duo of all time.
Dude, the movie just started. You have to put the word spoilers in brackets before saying that. Our story takes place in Portland, Oregon, the most Canadian-looking of major American cities. Now, as a native Portlander, I wish to apologize on behalf of the entire city for our indirect involvement with this film. Also, I can see my parents' house from here. Hi, Mom and Dad! We're introduced to Russell, a creatively named Jack Russell Terrier who lives in a pet shop. He just wants to be part of a loving family, but nobody wants to adopt him because he scares easily and pees all over the customers.
He's so cute!
You sons of bitches, Air Bud Entertainment. How dare you use the plight of sad animals to keep me emotionally invested in this film?
Well, this is it.
That's Nate, Colleen, their son Max, and daughter Lena.
We then meet the Ferraro family, who've moved back to Portland from San Diego. The dad, crap, I already forgot his name. Movie?
That's Nate.
Thank you. Nate has inherited an old theater from his grandfather that used to run pro wrestling shows. We learned that the grandfather was run out of business many years ago by a rival promoter, Mick Vaughn. Okay, come on. Mick Vaughn, that name and that pronunciation is an obvious allusion to Vince McMahon.
They called it WUF, the Wrestlers United Federation.
You know what? I take that back. Vince would never allow his wrestlers to unionize. The grandfather's will states the family must turn a profit within a year, then the building is theirs to sell. Turn a profit doing what exactly? Wrestling? Good luck with that, buddy. Wrestling's not going to be nearly lucrative enough for you, not unless you have some amazing, one-of-a-kind attraction like, I don't know, a dog that can wrestle in the ring, but that would just be ridiculous. But the allure of reviving the family business is just too strong, and damn it, little help?
That's Nate.
Yes, thank you. Nate decides to start running shows out of the old arena. As he begins assembling a roster, we finally return to the hero of this picture, who's still not been adopted and is afraid of going to the pound. He escapes his plexiglass cell with some sweet-ass lucha dog moves. Not sure how he learned to do any of that considering he's lived his entire life up to this point in a cage, but okay.
You guys should come Thursday.
I'm kind of.
I can get you guys free hot dogs. Sure, I'll be there.
Hey kid, you can't give those hot dogs away. How else are you gonna pay the wrestlers? On the night of the Ferraro's first show, Russell finds his way to the arena. There he meets Hunk, the talking monkey that's been working for the family for decades. Hunk is voiced by Will Sasso, who we all know now is Bret Hart's wrestling equal.
How'd a nice kid like you end up in the mean alleys of Portland?
Oh really? The mean streets of Portland? Just where is that exactly? Between the Voodoo Donut, the food truck pods, and the new condos nobody can afford? Those mean streets? I'm sorry, I really need to tone back my Oregon-specific humor. Inside the arena, we see the show drew about as well as your average global force event. During the first match, one of the wrestlers gets a case of the limber tail and runs off, forcing Nate to scramble to find an opponent. So wait, was Nate only able to secure those 2 wrestlers? Does this show only have 1 match? Wait, forget I asked. It's a movie about wrestling. Every show in a wrestling movie only has 1 match. But Russell runs into the arena and winds up in the ring. Wrestler Vic Vice slips on a banana peel left behind by Hunk, which gives Russell the opening. My God! Not only is this dog an amazing wrestler, he apparently was also hit with the same gamma radiation that turned Reed Richards into Mr. Fantastic! So Russell takes the big man down with a chokehold, which is technically illegal. Vic Vice wins! After the fight, Hunk convinces Russell to become a full-time wrestler.
I speak like 6 different species.
But how? Animals can't speak to humans.
Well, it goes like this. I was imprisoned.
What?
Part of this experiment to see if humans could teach monkeys to talk.
Stop it! Stop it! We do not need exposition as to why the monkey can talk or understand different animals. The monkey does not need an origin story. If you're watching this with your kids and your kids ask, why can the monkey talk? You just say, because it's a kid's movie. Now shut up and drink your can of Monster already. As all this is happening, the match between Russell and Vic Vice goes viral. And with a title like, Check This Out, you just know it's gonna be awesome.
Over here, Nathaniel.
Ah! Monkey!
Hey now, you don't see me jumping around and shouting, ah, human!
Whoa, did Hunk just do the Nazi salute? The family completely no-sells the fact that this monkey they just met can talk and agrees to let Hunk train Russell to become a wrestler, as well as young Max. Whoa, letting a kid that young train to wrestle? This is Portland, not Memphis. After a riveting training montage, we cut to the next show, where there's a battle royal to determine who gets to face off against the K9 YouTube sensation. Hey look, the Yeti picked up a new move! Somehow, the crowd triples in size between the Battle Royal and the main event that comes immediately afterward, and it's time for the official debut of WrestleManiac.
It's time to wrestle!
Come again?
It's time to wrestle!
I'm not quite sure if he's saying Russell or wrestle, but I think he's failing at both. By the way, I should point out that our commentary team is comprised of none other than Fred Willard and Charles Robinson. That's Night Court Charles Robinson, not WWE referee Charles Robinson. After getting knocked down early on, Russell hulks up and defeats the Mummy with the power of cartoon wackiness. You know, the more I think about it, this movie doesn't feature wrestling so much as it features bounce house tussling. I mean, this may come as a bit of a shock to you, but there's really not much actual wrestling in this movie. The matches we see are comprised of 1, maybe 2 moves in total. How can they be so limited? They're obviously using computer animation to make Russell move around in the ring, so why not go whole hog? Why not have him doing moonsaults and hurricanranas? I suppose they can't have him doing too much in this film because then it becomes too violent for this family-friendly movie, but if they were worried about crossing the line there, why have a movie about a wrestling dog in the first place?
This is madness!
This is Russell madness.
Thank you for making my wish come true.
Who are you talking to, kiddo?
My wishing star.
Wishing star? I don't believe in all that mumbo-jumbo make-believe stuff.
I mean, we live in a world where monkeys can talk to humans and Heil Hitler and nobody bats an eye, but a wishing star?
Get that shit out of here!
So Russell has his family, and the Ferraros somehow break even on that one good show they ran. So everything's resolved? Movie over? Sweet, that was fast. All right, I'm out of here. Wait, what? Oh, the movie's only halfway over? Fine. The good times don't last for long, as it's revealed the building is in severe need of upgrades to be up to code, and that no wrestling will be allowed until changes are made. So desperate times call for desperate measures. Wait. I just now realized the acronym WUF spells woof. That's so brilliant, yet so dumb. With no other way to come up with the money, Nate has to sign Russell over to Mick Vaughn. Nate's deal with Vaughn has the team spending a lot of time on the road, away from the family. In the process, they miss out on a lot of big events. So the natural solution to the problem is get cardboard cutouts made for Max's birthday party? I'm dying on the inside! The constant demands of the road forces the Ferraro family to reach their breaking point.
You're right. Something needs to change. Come with me.
Now let me distract you from the problem by giving you this restored sewing machine you wanted. Now go make some clothes, my goodly wife! The super popular WrestleManiac is now in line for a title shot against WUF champion, The Hammer, played by none other than Johnny Mundo. So there you go, all two of you wrestling fans who bought this movie to show your kids. Here's an actual wrestler you can recognize. As the combatants get ready, Mick Vaughn reveals his grand plan to The Hammer.
Russell's gonna take the belt tonight, no questions asked.
What?
That's a question.
Hey, a funny joke.
I wrote a number down there for you.
Oh boy.
The Hammer accepts the bribe, creates one of the best moments in the movie by healing on Russell during the handshake, and proceeds to get wrecked by the pooch. Until... We get it, Mundo, you vape! Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh, my ears!
Folks, there are few things in life that are as hilarious as the sight of Johnny Mundo, dog whistle in mouth, scrambling to pin a stuffed dog. The family learns of Vaughn's treachery and bribery and want out of the deal, but old Cliff Clavin reveals the dog's been locked into a WUF contract and is legally his.
Hey, you're a superstar for the WUF, so just get used to it.
I never should have quit working with Pixar. Max and Hunk break Russell out of his imprisonment with surprisingly little effort, but they're caught by Vaughn before they have the chance to make good on their escape. Gee, maybe it's because they spent nearly 2 minutes just standing around and talking before finally trying to make a run for it? Now, earlier in the movie, a pet store employee revealed he legally adopted Russell just before the dog escaped the store. Not sure why he waited that long to finally adopt him. I mean, he was there for months, you jerk! But the payoff to this finally arrives when the clerk reveals that his legal ownership of the dog voids any previous agreements between Nate and the WUF. He then gives official custody of Russell to the Ferraros, but the family is threatened with eviction if they don't give him back to Mick Vaughn. Cause this is what you want in a kid's movie, right? Contract disputes. That's why Phantom Menace was such a hit. The family is ready to walk away from wrestling altogether, but Russell refuses to go quietly.
We are family, and family is a verb. Family is a verb, is a verb, is a verb, is a verb, is a verb.
Look at the adjective.
Family.
And yes, my brain is broken. Russell issues a challenge for a rematch against the Hammer, with the Ferraro Wrestling League and the ownership of Russell all on the line. Vaughn pulls a Teddy Long and makes it a tag team match, playa, and the match is on. It's the night of the big fight, and the Hammer comes out with his tag team partner, Dieter Das Munten. So who will be teaming with Russell in this battle for supremacy? Ha! I wish. That would have been a funny twist. But no, it's actually young Max who will be stepping into the ring. Because why not? We've already ruined the integrity of this fine, noble, upstanding sport with a dog. Why not throw a kid into the mix too?
It's hammer time.
Yeah, Donker.
German words, they sound scary. No, not the poor defenseless rubber dummy. He's too young and bouncy. Max takes Dieter to Dick Kick City and makes the hot tag to Russell, who comes in like a house of fire until the Hammer pulls out his secret weapon.
Oh no!
The Hammer looks to win the match with the help of his cheating ways, but Russell no-sells the dog whistle thanks to some earplugs, gets out of the way of the aerial assault, and wins the match.
They are the new tag team champions.
Huh? Who said the titles were on the line? You can't just throw wrestling-related terms into a script and just hope they make sense.
Oh my, he just body slammed his opponent's face off. Now he's pile driving his way up to the top rope and comes down with a devastating headlock. Tights!
So Max and Russell vanquish Mick Vaughn and his wrestlers and grow up to become, quote, the most famous tag team duo in wrestling history. And all the while, you can't help but think that considering their respective lifespans, Russell and Hunk are both gonna die any day now. I'll miss you, Sadie. And that was Russell Madness. I hate wrestling now. Don't get me wrong, the messages of yay family and fight for what you believe in come across loud and clear. They're fine messages, and the Johns Mundo and Ratzenberger are great to watch in this movie, but that's it. It has to be possible to have a family-friendly movie and not feel like you're watching the visual equivalent of a pixie stick, right? Between the cheesy dialogue, the special effects, the overall depiction of wrestling, and the tremendous pity I feel for the dog and the monkey, this film is hard to watch. You know what? Just talking about this movie has gotten me legitimately upset, okay? I have all this pent-up aggression inside. I just need to get it out somehow. I need to have a good old-fashioned wrestling match. And I think I know just where to find one. Excuse me. Hey, you. Yeah, you. I got a bone to pick with you, man. You think that Wrestle Madness means we're going to see more like you getting into the ring? Well, not on your life, buddy, okay? I am the gatekeeper of bad wrestling, the face that runs the disgrace, and I'm not going to let you come in here and knock me off my perch. Ah, the strong, silent type, huh? Well, what about this? Time to wrestle!